where you wake up and you are ready to go and you're energized to start your day. Anybody out there? Anybody want to learn how to get some good, healthy sleep? Well, we're going to go ahead and share screen now. We're going to jump right in to element 19. And are you seeing this? Let's see here. Sooner than mine. And we still have people coming in the waiting room, so it's slowing the PowerPoint down just a little bit. Sorry about that. All right, moving forward. How do you create healthy sleep and unlimited energy? What is going on here? All right, tonight we are going to talk a little bit in element 19 about what healthy sleep looks like. Dr. A starts out in this element really talking a lot about how healthy sleep and mindset are connected. So tonight we're going to learn about mindset, understand why energy management is vital to our optimal health. We're going to talk a little bit about skill set. We're going to learn some strategies to optimize sleep and energy management to accelerate your progress. And we're also going to learn a little bit more about some action steps and how to adopt habits of energy management to create more optimal days. Right now, we are living in times where our energy levels, rather than our time management, really set up the success that we have for installing our habits of health. And when your energy and your sense of well-being are high, it puts you in a position to begin your day on the right trajectory. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about how we set you up for success in doing that. Dr. Anderson always starts us out with a quote. And this quote, he says, mindset, sleep is your body's way of restoring organ function, stabilizing chemical imbalance, refreshing areas of the brain that control mood and behavior, and improving performance. So how many of you can just show me your hands, would like to have that refreshing your brain, controlling your mood and behavior, and improving your performance every single day? We know sleep is really, really important in doing that. I see some hands up. So now we're going to go ahead and we are going to look at the Habits of Health, Sleep, and Energy Clock. If you have your life book and you want to turn to page 387, that is where we are in your life book, page 387. The good news is you get to decide when we look at this Habits of Health, Sleep, and Energy Clock. One of the things that you get to decide is what time is it that you need to wake up to meet the world. Many of us are in different areas, stages of life. Some of you might have little children at home, and so your sleep is maybe interrupted and broken. Others of you might be getting up early to get kids to school, and so you have to start your day at a different time. The most important thing that we're looking at here is deciding first, what time is it that you need to wake up to meet the world? Dr. Anderson talks a lot about how we truly need at least 8 hours of sleep every single night to be optimized. So if you're thinking about, okay, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m., and that is maybe the time that you're used to waking up, we want to count backwards 8 hours. And we know that that is that time of structured, our sacred, uninterrupted sleep time. We know we have the most control of our day in the morning and the evening hours. So as we begin to look at the Habits of Health, Sleep, and Energy Clock, we are going to focus a lot tonight on the hour before rest and the hour we first wake up in the morning. And so those are the areas that we're really going to be looking at. When we look at the Twilight Hour, creating your Twilight Hour, you can find this on page 407. Basically, when we talk about our Twilight Hour, we're talking about that hour right before we go to bed. We come home at the end of the day, we are in go mode. And we have to learn how to go from all on go to that transition time to sleep time. And so if you take a look at this evening ritual, we know that this evening ritual is what will set you up for those uninterrupted hours of healthy sleep. And as we look at this chart, you'll notice an hour before you're supposed to have your head on that pillow, we want you to start implementing some habits into your schedule that will transition you into that good sleep mode. Hour before, this is the time to get your kids to bed. Put your pets in a crate if they sleep in a crate, but turn down your thermostat. There's a lot of evidence that the cooler the room is, that you will actually sleep better. Take any medications you have. We are in such a mode of getting in all of our water, but an hour before bed, we really want to avoid any additional water intake because we don't want to be up all night having to go to the bathroom. How many of you have had to do that before? So we want to try to avoid that. 30 minutes before that head on the pillow time, that's a great time to take this self-care. Brush your teeth, brush and floss your teeth. Your cool down starts. Get into those loose fitting, lightweight clothes, something that you're going to be able to sleep well in. A lot of people like essential oils at this time because it just might help them relax a little bit more and put them in that mood of healthier sleep. 15 minutes before, this is a great time to put any last minute entries in your life book or your journal. Begin any type of meditation, deep breathing. A lot of times gratitude is a great way to end the day. Room cold, dark and quiet, sleepy time tea. Some people love a nice chamomile tea right before they go to bed. In bed, this is the time that, for me, I know I like to close my night in prayer. And then if you're married, kiss your loved one and say goodnight and get ready to really try to get in that healthy sleep. We do notice, though, that hour before seems very structured because it really is. We know that with structure, it helps support even our habits throughout the day when it comes to eating. We have that really structured eating plan of eating every 2 to 3 hours. And we know that structure sets us up for good success with that. And structure will also set you up for better success when it comes to sleeping as well. Then we're going to move to someone's in. Oh, there we go. Creating our model morning. As you begin to wake up, so we have now gone from sleep, now we're going to go to transition and then into go mode. This also is one of those things where if we can be sure to set that time, we know that we can structure our day for the most energy that we can have to focus and start our day off right. So when you create your model morning, let's look at that for just a moment. That is on page 414 of your life book. So if you're and you have your life book, page 414 is going to walk you through your model morning. Once again, waking up an hour before you really have to face that world. Get out of bed, open up those blinds, let that sunlight in, get that glass of water in. They say that having a glass of water even before your coffee is going to, Dr. Anderson talks a lot about the first thing that you put in your mouth in the morning is something that you're going to crave the rest of the day. So they even talk about how important it is to drink that water first. Set out your shoes next to your bed, your workout shoes. Put on your workout clothes so that you can start that day right away. Then maybe you spend some time in prayer or meditation for the next 1 to 10 minutes. Practice gratitude, deep breathing, those things again. Desired outcome, focus on what is most important to you. Visualize your optimal day. I love the visualizing tools that they give us. They talk a lot about what is it that you want your day to look like. We've talked in other elements about, just making those choices every day to show up for yourself. And That's also a good time for any kind of reading. A lot of people love to read in their life book or their Habits of Health book in the morning. Then move right into a little bit of healthy motion, whether that's walking the dog outside, some exercise, some stretching and movement. Then your self-care, brush and floss your teeth, get your shower, get ready for your day, and then be ready to head out into the world. Hopefully, by setting up the structure in your morning, it's going to help you just become a little more focused and grounded on the way that you want to spend your day and how you can structure that day around what really matters most to you. So research shows that people who have fewer than 6 hours of sleep had a higher likelihood of becoming obese. So think about that for just a minute. How many hours of sleep are you getting every night? Are you getting less than 6 hours? Because we really, like we said before, we want to focus on that 8 hour or at least the average of anywhere between 7.5 and 9 hours of good quality sleep. So let's look at some tips for healthier sleep. We're going to avoid caffeine, alcohol, and eating within 3 hours of bedtime. Avoid exercise within 4 hours of bedtime. Meditate for 5 to 10 minutes to kind of quiet your mind. Remove all of those electronics from the bedroom. I know that is a big one for many people who might have that television going till they're falling asleep. But that doesn't set you up for that nice quality sleep that you're looking for. Those, way back in the day, we didn't have, in olden times, they didn't have those things to worry about. But now we really want to focus on removing the excess noise and even excess light. Bed not too hot nor too cold. So just some other tips for healthier sleep. You're going to find a lot more tips in this element as well. But these are some of the most important ones. So now I want us to look at the Ultradn Cycle. In this diagram below, the red lines, the red area, illustrates when our stress hormones are released and how they have an effect on both our productivity and our health. I'm going to read for you what Dr. Anderson says about this, because when I tried to put it all together, I thought, you know what, it's just best to read what he says about what the Ultradn Cycle is. You'll find this on page 400 of your life book. Basically, he says it seems that within our waking hour, we have 90-minute cycles called Ultradn rhythms, which are similar to our nightly REM cycles. Now, I know a lot of you probably have heard about REM cycles, so this might sound a little bit more familiar. The Ultradn rhythm is the equivalent daytime cycle needed to have effective attention and focus. So this is how the level of attention and focus we need throughout the day. During the day, we move from higher to lower alertness. When we need a rest, our body signals us with hunger, drowsiness, fidgetness, or loss of focus. So think about that for just a minute. When we're tired, oh, we've got somebody on, needing to mute. When we're tired, our body signals us with these signs. So during the day, when you feel tired and you all of a sudden think, gosh, I'm hungry, know that this is part of that Ultradn cycle that Dr. A is talking about here. We generally override the body's need to rest with caffeine, foods that are high in sugar, and simple high glycemic carbs. And then our bodies on their own produce stress hormones like adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. And honestly, those are all of the stuff that we are really trying to avoid. We don't want to have to worry about all of the stress hormones that are being produced in our bodies when we're just tired. So what Dr. Anderson talks about is how do we go about conquering that when we start to feel tired? What are some of the things that we can do? And he talks a little bit about passive rest, being able to get a power nap very quickly. Also active rest. Active rest are things like deep breathing, stretching, meditating, gratitude, listening to music, connecting with a friend or a family member. Maybe it's even prayer. I know when I feel stressed sometimes and feel that, oh my gosh, I just want to go to the refrigerator, that is the time when I like to turn on some praise and worship music and start singing, because then all of a sudden I find that I come back up over that hump to a place where that hunger and those hormones are reduced. So this is great information, and there's a lot of information about those the passive rest and the active rest that we just went over as well. Now I want you to look real quickly at this energy ruler. The energy ruler is found on page 408. And over the course of the next week, I really want you to pay attention to when are you the most alert? When are you at your lowest energy level? And what is your temptation when you feel that way? What do you want to do? Do you want to eat foods? Do you want to drink caffeine? How are you feeling? And then knowing that there are tools for you to help replace those stress hormones, how are you going to go about using those tools to bring you back up out of that stressful time and be able to really focus on more energy and be more energized throughout the day? So these are some steps, and I would love to hear from you. I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'm going to go to the next slide. What actions are you going to take as a result of this element? So now I want to come back to you for just a minute. I'm going to stop share. And is there anyone out there? I'd love to know from you. Maybe I've already seen in the chat, no electronics in the bedroom. Love that. We've never had a TV in our bedroom. We just don't. And I try to get my cell phone turned off when I get into the bed. So love to hear from you. Any tools, anything that you're using that helps you with better sleep, or that you would like to share.
Hi, Kelly. I have something to share.
Yes, Cheryl.
Well, I have a do not disturb set on my phone, so it automatically will not take calls. It won't bling bling messages. It is done for the night. And so I do adhere to a 9 o'clock bedtime schedule every night. And so that really helps me because it stops making noise and I start leaving my phone alone and I head off to bed. So that's my tip.
Love it. Love it. I also have that do not disturb on my phone, and only family can get through. So yes, love that one. Any other, Don?
Yeah, ditto. Same as Cheryl. Vanessa actually just set that up. She's been using it. She just set it up for me on my phone, and I'm actually loving it. About at 9 o'clock, I'm gonna get this little friendly little bling, start preparing myself from 9 to 10, and then that thing's gone from 10 to 5:30. 5:30, the nice little soft alarm starts coming on, so I don't even have to worry about it. But yeah, great little tip, and definitely pull back on the water, starting in the evening. So yeah, good stuff. Great tips tonight as well. Good stuff.
Yes, well, great. I agree. Vanessa had mentioned to me about something in her in our systems or in our settings where you can actually click on focus if you have an app or if you have an iPhone, and there's a place on there where you can set up sleep. I had never seen that before, and that's called focus. I think Androids also have something very similar, but I know on the iPhone, I'd never seen that little focus button. So that was kind of neat to be able to really set those up as well. So lots of great ideas and tips, and we just hope that tonight's call has helped encourage you on how to really put in some structure into place and implement some of these habits to help you get healthy sleep. I also want to mention next week is Labor Day weekend, and we've already talked with a lot of coaches and clients who are going to be out of town or traveling or enjoying that day with family and friends. So we are going to skip next week's Monday night call and move into element 20 the following Monday night. So we just wanted to let you know that as well. We hope you all have a wonderful Labor Day weekend and a wonderful week this week. So thank you again for joining us. Please come back next Monday night, or not next Monday night, the week after that, as we go into element 20. Thank y'all. Have a great night. Bye-bye.